Hello, my name is Isabel Torres. Here is my ID. Okay, so the topic I'm going to present today is about the importance of teaching culture in the EFL classroom. Well, as shared in the didactic guide and the tutorial session, we as teachers teach culture inside the classroom. We're not only teaching a language, but also communicate a culture, different types of cultures. I base my answers on the didactic guide and the tutorial session recording. After I do both, analyze the didactic guide and the recording session, I took my time to analyze the question, analyze the instructions for this video recording. So I'm going to share my insights on the importance of teaching culture in the EFL classrooms. Okay, so introducing culture in the EFL learning is just as important as teaching a language, because language is already tied to the culture from where the language comes from. As example, for English, we already have idioms that base a lot of the culture inside the language. The idioms that we have in English, why this type of words come after this other type of words, this all encompasses and it's all integrated inside the culture of the language. Even if we're talking about in Spanish, we also have integrated type of idioms and sayings and stuff that we only use in the language because it's tied to our culture. We cannot teach a language without touching on the topics from the culture and the traditions. In the same way that we cannot teach, for example, a skill, in type of skills like reading and listening, excluding the culture from this language, as I said, from the culture of this language, as I said before. I think that the students' ability to understand the second language, it's tied to the cultural background from the other countries. That becomes if they understand the culture, if they understand the tradition from this language, the second language that is English, in my opinion, they are going to understand a lot better the language. Because personally, I believe that it not only ties to what they are learning about the grammar drills or the rules, but it also comes tied to the motivation that they have in the course for learning a language. I also believe that English instructors should focus on, as English instructors, I personally believe that we should focus incorporating parts of the culture of the culture from the language that we're teaching in lessons as part of embracing differences from people all over the world. In other words, as said in the didactic guide, we should implement effective cultural pedagogy, so we include an inclusive approach to our students about the different cultures that encompasses the language. Because when we're talking about English, it's not only about the modern type of country that the United States is, or the modern type of country that England is, but also the history behind it. By incorporating these aspects of culture in our lessons, in our teaching, we're going to make them embrace these differences, these different cultures, and we're going to have a more inclusive classroom. I also want to touch on about of how important it is for a teacher's tolerances in and showing genuine interest for these diverse cultures. Let's say that a teacher, as said by my teacher in the tutoring session, what if a teacher just does not care, or just does set aside the fact, oh, this culture is important, and I respect it, that's it. No, we as instructors, as teachers, we have to show genuine understanding, genuine interest in this culture, in these different cultures, in being more inclusive with Asians, with African American people, Europeans, from the India, from all over the world. We live in a country that is culturally diverse. We have more than 20 ethnic here in Ecuador. So we already are very diverse in culture as Ecuadorians. So now talking about the strategies. Okay, now I'm going to talk about the strategy I will use to integrate cultural diversity in my lesson planning. Okay, to me, I personally teach children from preschooler to baccalaureate, and I think that the way I teach them is just very diverse in the age groups, in their interest groups. So I think that I would adapt maybe if we have a classroom that has a very culturally diverse group, I would make them do a presentation about their culture. So they present about their culture, their beliefs, their traditions to the whole classroom. If not, if we are in a setting that we share the same culture, what are we want to talk about? Well, I think that I would make them do a group work. So in this group work, each group from the classroom are going to present about a different culture. We're going to call it the travel poster. So they're going to talk about different cultures from maybe their favorite country or from random countries. So they're going to choose a country and a culture inside the country. And they're going to talk about, give a presentation, visual, pictures, fun facts, videos, and their understanding of why did they choose that. So after the presentation, after the groups presented their work, we're going to take that presentation. If it's in the computer, we're going to print them, and we're going to decorate the classroom with different cultures. So here we have a culture from Europe, here we have a culture from India, the culture from China. So our classroom will be decorated with a lot of different cultures. So this is one strategy that I think that it would be great for my students to explore different cultures around the world and have them integrate and be more inclusive with their understanding and with their with themselves, to embrace another type of views and people. Also, I wanted to talk about going beyond the surface of the culture. For example, they are not going to talk about Asia. They just eat noodles and they like the red. They are superstitious. No, they are going to go beyond that. They are going to go beyond the stereotypical knowledge of said culture. All right, and this is the end of my presentation. Thank you so much for your attention.